Hey, what's going on? It's Tuba Billy. You know, the White House said something recently that just doesn't seem to add up. Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House spokesperson, press secretary, who has all the credentials of being the, a black gay woman, said that there have been over 200 mass shootings in the year so far. We're in the beginning of May, so May is the 5th month of the year. We're not even halfway through the year, and yet there have been more mass shootings, as they say, than days of the year. How does that work? Well, when you play with the numbers and make it up, you can say anything you want. It turns out right at the same time, I think it was the Associated Press put out another release, and Associated Press, not really the most conservative media place, came out and said that there were 22 mass shootings for the year, and some of those, turns out, don't even involve shootings, stabbings, mass casualty events. But I want to know where the White House, where Biden's spokesperson, because Biden sure as heck ain't saying it himself, where are they getting these numbers? Okay, what statistics? Because when you play with the numbers, when you massage the numbers, you can make any statistics say anything you want if you frame them the right way. And that can definitely skew reality, and I think that's the case here. Reality is mass shootings are actually incredibly rare, and in fact, out of all mass shootings, 97% happen in gun-free zones. So don't come at me with the Republicans want children dead in the streets. They're complicit in children's deaths. I think that's what Bill Clinton said. They just want to see children die before they take their guns away. No. Here's the thing. The reason Republicans don't want to talk to Democrats about gun control is because we know, I'm saying we like I'm a Republican. The Republicans know, the conservative, the pro-gun people know that the leftist only agenda, the Democrats' only play is to take away guns. If you can take away guns, then that'll solve all of the problems. No, it won't. We know that it will not happen. So our solutions, you don't want to hear because it's not gun confrontation. That is the end game. That is what Democrats want. That is what Joe Biden wants. He says nobody wants to take your guns. We just want to take your AR-15s, your weapons of war, which we can't have because they're weapons of war. And then at the same time also saying that 9mm can blow a lung clean out of a body, and nobody needs a 9mm, and nobody needs a magazine over, is it 15 rounds or is it 10 rounds? Is it 8 rounds? Is it 5 rounds? It's always changing. So yes, they want to take your guns. They're starting with the AR-15 because it's the scary looking gun, right? Gosh, I'm straining my throat talking. But that, we all know that is their end game. I mean, Beto O'Rourke said it best. Hell yes, we're coming for your AR-15s and your AK-47s. Commies say what? No. Shall not be infringed. means shall not be infringed. That is one of those constitutional rights that people have, given from the Constitution. And the fact that you say, oh, the First Amendment isn't absolute. Yeah, it is. And then they lead with, oh, you can't make threats. No, you can't, because that is law. You can't say things that are against the law. You can't say, I can't say, hey, I'm gonna go blow up this theater, and then get upset when people prosecute me because I'm making a direct threat. You can't do that, right? That's the law. We know that. But when you say the First Amendment is an absolute, what you really mean is any speech that I don't like is under scrutiny. That's really what you mean. That is what you say when you say certain things are labeled as misinformation. When the government tells you what is true and is not, that's a problem. Same thing with the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment isn't absolute. One person had the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance to say, it even says well regulated. It needs regulations. No. When the Second Amendment was written, well regulated does not mean you put regulations and rules and restrictions on it. Well regulated means well trained, well armed, well ready. That's the context of well regulated militia. And who's the militia? Well, at the time, it is every able-bodied man that can hold a gun is part of the militia. So if you really want to have a conversation, Democrats lose the gun confiscation, lose the gun control shtick, because it ain't going to work. And Republicans aren't going to talk to you about it because they know it's not going to work. But Republicans have actual things, actual ideas that might work. Like, oh, I don't know, if we have to go through, armed guards to get into federal buildings or to go fly on an airplane, why in the world don't we protect our children? Harden up the schools. Now, I'm not saying have, guys with guns standing at the front doors. No. But have a little bit more than one resource officer. Have teachers that are trained. Have teachers that are armed, that carry on in the schools. I guarantee you, a criminal is going to be more hesitant to go shoot up a school thinking that, hey, any of these people that I come in contact with could be shooting back at me. That's human nature, right? Even the Nashville shooter, the trans shooter, that you don't really hear about in the news anymore because, that doesn't fit the narrative. And that we still don't have the manifesto. Pick that particular school because she is a biological female. She said that it was an easier target, less security. And it was because of the policies, the things that were in place that that more lives weren't lost, right? There's videos of the shooter walking through the schools trying to find people. So no, do not come at me and say you just want the blood of kids. No. Every death is a tragedy, right? What's up, buddy? Especially when they're meaningless killings. Not the meaningful killings, no. But if a criminal dies because someone is protecting their life and fights back and shoots them, then that's justified, right? Still tragic. Someone lost their life. Someone lost a son, a daughter, a brother, a father. Okay, That part is tragic. What's more tragic is just some mentally unstable person going and shooting indiscriminately into crowds, right? And they say, oh, the NRA is responsible. I guarantee you no good standing NRA member has ever committed a mass shooting. And they say the gun lobby is responsible. No. These are people who teach responsible gun ownership, responsible gun handling, responsible skills, right? Gun safety. Actual gun safety, not the gun safety that the Democrats veil as gun control. All it's going to do is arm the criminals and disarm the law-abiding citizens who just want to protect themselves. We live in a crazy world, and as long as the insane, evil people can get to guns, you better bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be carrying mine. Because evil could pop up at any time, anywhere. We've seen it, you know, in the news, in schools, in parties, in malls. You never know. Someone could come up to me while I'm riding a motorcycle and say, hey man, give me your bike at gunpoint. Sure, I'm gonna say, hey, well, back up. You can take my bike, whatever. Careful, the handlebar's a little wonky. But if they continue to threaten me, you better believe that I'll be fighting back. So that's my take on all that. It's all political theater and smoke and mirrors, and it's ridiculous that we can't even have a real conversation because everybody's so stuck in their way of guns bad, we just need to get rid of all guns and that'll solve everything. No, it won't. Anyway, please be excellent to each other. Tuba Billy, signing out. God be with you till we meet again.